I had another breakdown before Christmas where I knew very nearly wasn't here, but I'm struggling to sort of pick myself back up. It's like everything caught up with me, everything crashed, everything just sort of hit my wall. And every time people would say to me, "Oh, you're dealing with it so well," I would think, well, actually, I'm not. I'm not, but you're thinking I am. So I'm just going to crack on here. And I've spent my whole life just cracking on, and
You
yeah,
gotta under. I think I just thought of this too. Like you're it's kind of a different thing. It's a kind of a different loss for you and your child, right? So you lost your husband. You know what I mean? Or I guess you were married, right? You lost your husband,
yeah,
and then you
yeah,
got to deal with the fact they lost their father, right? So it's a different combo for you. You know what I mean? Your kids obviously weren't. It's a whole different ball game for you. You know what I mean? He took everything he could
yeah,
from you. Then he did the loophole thing, right? And then you got to deal with the fact he's with another woman that fast. So I think it's
yeah,
more. Yeah, you have all that piled on, right? I mean, your kids had a different relationship with him, you know. So maybe it's a
yeah.
little easier for them to, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. You're totally right. You're the first person that I've talked to that's picked up on that. Nobody, nobody has picked up on that. Is that it's different for me as to what it is for the girls. Everybody says, "Well, the girls are okay. They've got you, and what are you worried about?" Well, actually, you're the very, you're the very first person that's actually just
Oh,
picked up on that point, because he was my husband, and although
yeah,
we were together, we were still we maintained a really good relationship, to the point where we even took them on holiday together. So I still cared very much for him, and
right.
it's also about what he did to me. And I'm very bitter because I stuck by him when we found out we couldn't have kids. I don't know if you remember, on one of my messages I put about IVF.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah. So it was him that couldn't have the kids, not me. And I still married him, and I still went through 6 years and 6 rounds of IVF. Um, and he has two amazing children from that. And for me, it's how how can he do that to me after everything stood, after everything I went through?
Right.
I gave him two amazing young ladies, and myself as well. I don't consider them as his children anymore. They're mine. He lost that right a long time ago, in my opinion. But you're right. You're the first one that's picked up on that, and I've got a lot of bitterness about. I didn't give up on you. I stood by you, and I put myself through hell and back, which is what IVF is. It's a massive
Is
roller
that like
coaster of emotions.
what
Go
is
on.
that exactly? Is that like or what is that? Like when they
It's
inseminate?
artificial insemination.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a long
Yeah,
process. That's a lot of up and downs. It's not
yeah.
cheap,
It's
right?
it's yeah. It's a massive process. It's probably about 6 to 8 weeks from start to finish. So it's a lot of injecting, um, a lot of to and fro's, a lot of obstacles, a
Like
lot of
I don't even.
emotional.
This guy's very
Um,
confusing because you go through all that work to give him what he wants, right? And I'm sure you both wanted it, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah,
you just leave? Like don't even make like here, I gave you everything you wanted, you know. We did it, you
yeah,
know. We got to where we want to be. And then you just throw it
yeah,
all away?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Like
if I
I
hadn't
don't
if I hadn't done that, IVF, he would never had his own children. Um, so I that you know that I struggle. That's probably, I struggle more about what he's done to me, I think, than the girls now, because they're at a point of acceptance. But
right.
me, I just think, I spent 6 years of my life, and I was very ill for a long time. I nearly lost my liver twice because and I think, how could I wouldn't, I mean, even if I knew now, if I could turn the clock back 25 years, and somebody give me a crystal ball and say, this is what you need to go through, this is what you'll get, but this is what will happen, I'd still do it all over again, because I've got
Right,
my
right.
girl. I've got my girls, and as far as I'm concerned, the money, I'm the winner here. He's completely
Yeah,
the
yeah, oh,
loser
for
because,
sure.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
you'll have
I get to say,
you have memories. You have a. I mean, you're a wonderful mother. I mean, you have memories with your kids, right? You'll have grandkids, and my opinion, my opinion and advice now would be focus on you, right? Focus on what you need to do to get back to loving yourself. Getting the help you need or whatever you got to do to deal with the loss of your husband, right? And the father of your kids, right? I think your kids are going to be all right? You're going to still be there for your kids, but I think it's time. As a parent, that's all you worry about, right? Is your kids. So I think it's